Good morning, friend. I am here again, Dr. Dwivedi, professor from Institute of Aeronautical Engineering, Hyderabad. My course is Aircraft Stability and Control, and I am in today lecture number 20, Directional Stability and Control. So, in the previous classes, we have completed our aircraft longitudinal static stability. In that, we have gone through different topics of longitudinal static stability, and today I am going to take about directional stability and its control. So in today's lecture I am going to cover about demonstration of aircraft for directional static stability, yawing moment and yawing moment coefficients, yawing stability and its derivatives. Then last I will go for the directional control. We are going to answer the following questions in this lecture. What is the directional static stability and control? And next, aircraft component responsible for this stability means yawing stability or directional stability. So these are our topics. So here first I have to go for my Mann Ki Baat. In this Mann Ki Baat, I am going to talk about, I will show the aircraft. This aircraft, I will talk about directional part of the aircraft and how this directional components are responsible for aircraft directional stability. You know that these are the wings, these are the horizontal tails, and these are the vertical tail. So for the directional static stability, the vertical tail is very important, and we are always in our longitudinal static stability, we are talking about the alpha, that is the angle of attack. This is the angle of attack here. But here in directional static stability, we are considering about a side slip angle. If aircraft is flying like this and wind is from the nose, there is a zero side slip angle, it is called beta. If aircraft is flying like this and the wind is coming from the right side of the pilot, then we say there is a side slip in the aircraft, and this side slip angle is known as a beta. This beta will generate some forces and moments. These forces and moments will take part in the directional static stability and in the directional control of the aircraft. So here we can see that the main component which is affecting the aircraft directional static stability is a vertical tail. And in this, if you see about the control part of the aircraft, here we have the rudder. This rudder will help to have yawing motion or the turning of the aircraft nose towards the left or the right. So rudder is the main control for the yawing, and the vertical tail is the main component for the directional static stability. Okay, so this I have shown for the aircraft stability. Now, directional stability, till now we have for the longitudinal static stability, we have seen that Cm alpha was the main component. Cm is a coefficient of moment when we change with angle of attack. So when the Cm alpha is less than 0 or the negative, and the Cm naught, the coefficient of moment at angle of attack 0, if it is greater than 0 or positive, then we can say that aircraft is longitudinal static stability. This we can see here that if here it is like this, if the plot is going from here, this is the Cm and this is the alpha. If Cm alpha, this is the plot of Cm alpha, it is less than 0 because this plot, the slope of this plot is negative. Okay, so it is a one requirement, and this is called alpha 0. At alpha 0, the Cm naught is greater than 0. If we have these two conditions, then we can say that aircraft is longitudinal static stability. But for the directional motion about, it is happening about the z-axis. So what is the directional motion? This is the x-axis, this is the y-axis. In this line, this you can see this line, this is the y-axis, and this is a z-axis. So this directional motions are happening with respect to the g-axis. Okay, so vertical stabilizers will help in directional static stability. We have seen that this is the vertical stabilizer. This vertical stabilizer will help in the directional static stability, which gives nose towards left or the right. Rudders are placed here at the trailing edge of the vertical stabilizer. The rudder are placed, and this rudder can move left and the right, and they give the yawing moment. So right wing going back, you see, if this is the right wing and this is the left wing, if right wing is going like this, it is called the positive yawing moment. And if this wing, the right wing, is going towards the back, right wing, then right wing going back is a yawing moment positive, and left wing is going back is yawing moment negative. Vertical stabilizers are used to do the directional stability. These are the vertical stabilizer, and these vertical stabilizers are used to make the aircraft directionally stable. Directional and lateral motions are coupled. Okay, so we always consider that the directional, this is the directional and this is the lateral. This rolling is lateral and directional. These both are the coupled, that we will be discussing. We will discuss now directional and lateral motion separately, but now I am only discussing about the directional motion. In directional motion, we have to see about the this side slip angle. This you can see in this diagram that when this aircraft is flying in this straight way, the aircraft is moving in this way, the wind is also moving from here to here, then there is no side slip angle. But if the relative wind is from right side, this you can see, the relative wind is from the right side. If it is from the right side, then there is an angle between x-axis of the aircraft. This is the x-axis. Okay, this is the x-axis of the aircraft, and if you take, these are the center of gravity. So if it is touching from here, this angle which is making from x-axis to the relative wind of the aircraft, this is called the beta, and beta is called the side slip angle. Another way we can represent this beta or side slip angle here, this you can see that aircraft, this wind is coming straight and your aircraft nose is towards the left of the your aircraft direction or this wind direction. So it is also called the beta. So if beta is there, beta is side slip angle. In a body, if it is disturbed and initial tendency is to come back to its initial condition, is called the static stability. So what is the static stability? Suppose you are flying this aircraft here, and due to this wind, aircraft nose has gone in this direction, and after this force is removed, if it is aircraft is moving in the same direction again, we can say that aircraft is statically stable in directional. For the positive beta, here I have shown here the positive beta. If the wind is coming from the right side of the pilot, if it is flying like this, if aircraft is flying like this, I am the pilot here, and if the wind is coming from this direction, we can say that this is the positive beta. And if it is coming from the left direction, from this direction, then we can say that this is a negative beta. Okay, so we have to understand that for a positive side slip angle beta, the positive yawing moment is required. So for the positive beta, we need a positive yawing moment. Beta is not the yaw angle. Okay, that we have to understand here. This beta is not the yaw angle. Beta is positive when relative wind is coming from pilot's right hand side. Beta is 0, is equilibrium if aircraft makes beta is equal to 0. So if we are disturbed the aircraft like this, and it is again coming to its original equilibrium position after side slip, then we can say that aircraft is directionally static stable. For longitudinal case, we have seen that when for alpha positive, Cm should be negative. Okay, we have seen that if Cm should be negative for alpha positive for the longitudinal case, but here it is not. This Cn, it is called the Cn should also be positive when beta is positive. So this is for the directional case. So in directional case, we will see that when we have the positive beta, your nose should go towards the beta, not it should be reverse. In the longitudinal case, it should go opposite to the alpha, but here it is not. If you are making a beta, your nose should go towards the beta, then we can say that aircraft is directional stable. So this here we can see that for positive beta, the yawing moment Ym is positive, and it is also represented as a n. N is equal to yawing moment, and the coefficient of yawing moment is represented by Cn. And this Cn is equal to n by half rho v square s. This you can see here. This Cn is equal to n by half rho v square s b. B is a span, s is a area, v is the velocity, rho is a density, n is a yawing moment. Okay, so this yawing moment divided by half rho v square s b. Then we will get the coefficient of yawing moment. So if the beta is minus and Ym is also minus, then we can say that it is stable. So here for the directional static stability, we should have Cn by C beta positive. dCn, just you can see here, this is a plot, the plot of Cn versus beta. If you draw like this, it is shown here by here. This is dotted line. This is not stable because here what happened? For the positive beta, yes, Cn is negative. So this case is not stable. Okay, if you see this diagram from here, if you increase the positive angle of attack, okay, here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, the plot is also going positive. So it is a positive Cn, positive Cn, positive Cn, positive Cn. We can say that this plot is positive, and dCn by, this is called dCn by d beta is greater than 0. The slope of this thing is positive. If it is like this, we can say that aircraft is directionally static stable. Okay, so these are the points which we have to remember. Okay, so now which components are taking part in this? Okay, so here just we can see one diagram here that if this your aircraft, this is the center of gravity here, and here is the vertical tail. This is called the vertical tail here. And if this thing is happening, a side slip angle beta is interacting with this vertical tail. This is a positive beta. Then what will happen? Here, this will generate a force Fy. This Fy will try to move in this direction. Okay? And so, by moving this direction, it will go up to the angle where beta and this nose is in the same line. Okay, so if it is like this, your aircraft, okay, your aircraft is like this and it is coming from here, so nose will be matching with this. So aircraft will be in this, we can say that aircraft is this directional static stable. I think it is clear now. So here this, you can see that for a positive beta here, we are getting a negative Fy. It is a minus Fy. Okay, and this Fy into this distance from here to here, this is the LT. So Fy into LT, it will turn the aircraft in this direction, and this is a positive. Okay, so yawing moment will try to neutralize this beta, and beta will become 0. It is the tendency of this aircraft here is to neutralize this beta, and beta will again become to the 0. So aircraft is statically stable in directional motion. So few components, they are taking part in our directional static stability. These are the vertical tail is the primary component. This is the primary component. Wing also and fuselage. These three parts are affecting the aircraft directional static stability. So in that diagram, in the previous diagram, we have seen that Fy, this force in the y direction, is half rho v square into v sv, where sv is the area of the vertical tail, and the cy. This cy is a coefficient of force which is in the y direction. So this ym is equal to half rho this force into lv. lv is the distance from this AC of vertical tail to the x-axis. So if you see here, this is the vertical tail. Here is the CG. So here is AC of the tail, vertical tail. So this is from here. It is a vertical distance is called the LV. Okay. So this force is acting here Fy. So Fy into this, it will try to make the aircraft in this direction. Okay. So this is so now this will give a yawing moment, positive. Right wing will be backward. So here if this is the wing of the aircraft, so by this condition, this right wing will go backward. Okay. So this is a positive yawing moment. Okay, we have defined that for the positive yawing moment, right wing should go down. So if it is like this, for a positive moment, this is the right wing, it has to go backward. So it is a ym positive. Okay, that is the definition of this thing. And here we can see that for the positive beta will create a negative Fy. So Cyb will be negative. The force coefficient or the y direction will be negative. So Cy will be Fy half rho v square s. So Ym is equal to minus. Okay, because here it is a minus. So half rho v square v sv Cyb into beta into Lv. Okay, here Cyb into beta and into Lv. Lv is a distance and this is the force here. This is the force. Up to here is the force, and this, if we are multiplying Lv, it will become the moment. So here Cn is equal to Ym divided by half rho v square Sv. V means vertical tail. All the parameters of here are the vertical tail. So here, if you see that Ym half rho v square v divided by half rho v square, this is the v. Here, this will be neta half rho v square of the this and half rho v square of the v means vertical tail. Here is the neta and this Sv divided by S of the wing. Then Lv by B, Cyb into beta. So Cn beta, so Cn beta is equal to dCn by d beta minus n Sv Lv by Sb into Cyb. So here we can see that Cn beta is equal to minus n Vb. This is the vertical tail volume ratio minus neta Vb into Cyb. So this is the condition. So here vertical tail volume ratio Vv is equal to Sv Lv by Sb. Okay. So we got it that Cn beta is equal to minus n Vv into Cy beta. So here you can see that Cn beta is a negative. Okay. So here Cn beta is coming negative because Cy beta is here negative. So this negative into this negative, here the Cn beta will be positive. So Cn beta should be positive, or the slope of Cn by beta, it should go like this. If it is going like this, it is correct and your aircraft is in static stable. Now another important is nose for longitudinal case. We have seen that we have the down was epsilon. Okay, but for the directional case, we have a side was, it is denoted by sigma. Okay, this you can see here that for our longitudinal case, we were having like this. So it is downwards it is epsilon, but here we have the sigma and it is called the sideways. Okay, so for this directional case, we have to use the sideways, and sideways is denoted by sigma. So here beta change to for this condition. If you see the tail portion, this portion including your vertical tail, there epsilon is important, and this sigma or the sideways is very important. So here if you see Fy is equal to half rho v square for vertical tail into area of the vertical tail, Cy beta, here beta plus epsilon. This epsilon is added because the net result, the epsilon, your beta will be increased. Becoming, so this because of sideways, beta is seen as beta plus sigma. So here Cy beta is negative, as it is negative, so Fy will be also negative. So this Ym is equal to minus half rho v square Vsv Cyb beta plus epsilon into Lv. So Cn is equal to Ym half rho v square Sb. If you divide it Sv Lv by Sb into Cyb, so here this you know that this is called the neta. This is here neta. This part is neta. So minus neta. This is the V. This is the tail volume ratio, vertical tail volume ratio. This is the efficiency neta. It is the ratio of the dynamic pressure at vertical tail divided by dynamic pressure at wing. Okay, so here we got Cn is equal to minus neta Vv Cyb b plus epsilon. Our aim to find the Cn beta. Okay, this we have to find the Cn beta. So here we can see that Cn by d beta is equal to minus Nv Cyb 1 plus d gamma by d epsilon by d beta. Okay, so we got this equation, and this equation is for the dCn by d beta when we are considering the sideways of the wing on the vertical tail. Let's see the closer look that Vv. Here, if you see this Vv is equal to Sv Lv by Sb. This is called the vertical tail volume ratio. It's similar to the Vh. In Vh, for the longitudinal condition, we have taken that Vh is equal to STLT by SC, where C is a chord. Okay, so Vh was giving longitudinal static stability. Okay, so vertical tail giving directional static stability. Here, like Vh, the horizontal tail ratio was giving the longitudinal static stability. Same way here, Vv is giving the directional stability of the aircraft. Okay, design and can check to verify, make the directional static stability. In this case, Cn beta is greater than 0 for the directional static stability. Okay, how much we want this? So how much we want this Cn beta? If the Cn beta is very large, okay, if Cn beta is very positive, so assume that aircraft is flying like this. Okay, if Cn beta is very large, immediately it is not good. So we should have a limited value of Cn beta. If it is large, during landing, aircraft will be in danger. So because runway is there, and if all of a sudden the side wind has come, aircraft will start turning and aircraft will go away from the runway, and aircraft will have some problems, and it may have some landing problems, and it may crash. It will go out of runway. So a limited value of Cn beta is required, because if the Cn beta value is quite large, it will give response very quick, and that time pilot may not be able to control the aircraft. Okay, so the second parameters, we can see that wing sweep is marginally stabilizing. The wing is also, and wing sweep is marginally, it is also useful, and it gives the directional static stability. So will be highly sensitive. The aircraft will be highly sensitive if the Cn beta is more. And during the crosswind, especially during the landing, it is not advisable to have Cn beta very high. So we have to design the aircraft in such a way that Cn beta is as per the required. Okay, so the high Cn beta is not a good design parameter. So if Cn beta is very large, then we need to move more radar deflection, which takes a lot of power and efforts by the pilot. So we need to have the optimum Cn beta value so that control and maneuverability will be smooth with the little effort. Okay, so that is, we have to make an optimum value of Cn beta so that it is very nicely control the aircraft. Now, next parameter. So we have understood about the vertical tail. Now, the next parameter which is affecting the aircraft directional static stability is a wing sweep. We know that the wing sweep is not just only sweeping the wing, but your aerofoil, just you can see here in this diagram, this Cn beta is a vertical tail. This we have completed. Now we are discussing about the wing. So here Cn beta should be greater than 0, and this we have already completed. Now wing contribution to Cn beta. Here side slip due to wing, you need to understand that here you see all this aerofoil are in the, your wing is made sweep, but actually this is not the sweep, because the direction of your chord and direction of the wind is in the same direction. So it is not the wing sweep. Wing sweep means your wing is swept like this and your aerofoil also in the same perpendicular to this. Then we can say that it is a sweep, because there is some angle and this angle is very important. Okay, so here this you can see, this is the sigma. This sigma angle we have to put, and so you can see here that the beta, when beta is coming, the actual direction of V cos this sigma minus beta. So actually angle of attack will be here V cos sigma minus beta. Okay, so here this is the effect of the difference in normal. Here is V cos, this side will face the angle of your velocity V cos sigma plus beta, and this right side will face V cos sigma minus beta. So there is a difference in angle of attack of the wing. So expression for the net yawing moment for the right wing, if you see, we know that for the right wing it is Ym, the yawing moment, is equal to half rho cos sigma minus beta, means this is the V, na? So this is the V square. Here it is a reduced angle of attack due to sweep. Square SW by 2. This is the half area of only one side, right, and into Y bar. Here if you see the left wing, it is a plus here. V cos sigma plus beta square SW by 2 and into Y bar into CD. Okay. So now Cn is equal to Ym half rho V square SB. So what you will get here? Here you will get CD Y bar by B, B sine 2 sigma. Okay. So here this beta, so Cn beta, you will get CD Y bar by B sine 2 sigma. So this depend upon the sweep angle. So this you can see that this expression, that Cn beta, is directly proportional to the sweep angle. This is the sweep angle. So as you are making the sweep more and more, your Cn beta is getting positive. Okay, so it is a positive. So sweep will make the aircraft directional static stability much better than. Okay, so we need to have sweep to make the directional static stability. Now we have discussed in this just now about the directional static stability, but how to control? Control means once it is turned, it should not go beyond that. Okay, just like I told, if we make the directional, it is static stability means it will turn towards the direction of the air, but it may go beyond that. So for that we need some control, and this control is done by the rudder, and rudder is fixed on the vertical tail at the trailing edge here. So here this you can see, here is this is the rudder, and this rudder can move like this. Okay, so if we have the vertical tailless, we have seen that few aircrafts are vertical tailless. So how we can make their directional control? So this is done by the sweep. If you have the very good sweep, then directional control can be done. So we'll have high sweep angle, and this sweep wing will give sufficient directional stability as it depend on the sweep angle. Just now, if you see all this tailless aircraft have the delta wing, and very sharp, more angle of this sweep is there, like B-2 bomber and all. They are very much delta, and their directional stability is achieved by their sweep angle. Okay, so now directional control. The primary directional control is rudder. Okay, as the elevator in the primary control for the longitudinal control, we have used the elevator, but for the directional control, we have to use the rudder. It gives d alpha t by d delta E is equal to here this tau. So this delta alpha is equal to half rho v square t st cl alpha t tau delta E. Okay, this we have already. This lift is half rho v square s cl alpha t, and here tau into delta E. This delta alpha is equal to delta alpha t is equal to tau into d delta E. So this we have transferred here. So similar we can do for the rudder. Okay, this is for the elevator. Okay, we have done for the elevator in the previous classes, but same way we can do for our rudder. If you see this rudder, we have deflected here in this diagram. This is the vertical tail, and here is the rudder. This is the rudder, and here if it is going towards the left, this is the left, and this is the right. So if the rudder is going towards the left, then it is a positive delta R, and if it is going this towards the right side, it is a negative. So if positive means what? If you are putting this side, okay, then a force will act like this, and what will happen? This will move in this direction. So if it is, here is the CG, your aircraft will move in this. If it is a positive, means left moving, it will move towards the left nose. If it is the right, your aircraft will move in this direction. Okay, so this Ym when delta R is positive is equal to half rho v square vertical tail SV LV tau delta R CYB. This is your moment, and so Ym is equal to half rho v square V SV CYB tau delta R into LV. LV means it is the vertical distance. So for the positive delta R, Ym should be negative. Okay, if you want the positive delta R here, if this delta R is positive, this Ym should be negative. Okay, so now if we take this Cn is equal to Yn by half rho v square SB. So here we have already done this NV, SV by S, LV by B, tau CYB delta R. So here Cn delta R is equal to NV SV LV by SV tau Y CYB. It should be less than 0. So CYB, it should be less than 0. It is a force. force coefficient. Okay, so this force coefficient should be negative. So means the force which is acting in this vertical tail by this beta, this force direction is, this is F, and it is a negative. Because if this is, we have assumed this is the Y and it is a positive, so it is opposite to this positive Y, this side is negative Y. So this force which is acting by this is a negative. So this CYB will be negative. Okay, that is the this thing. So we can compare now for the longitudinal case and the directional case. For the longitudinal case, CM alpha, this CM alpha is dCm by d alpha. It should be less than 0. It should be dCm. It should be less than or negative. But Cn beta should be greater than 0 or the positive. For the trim condition, alpha should be positive and Cm naught should be also positive. For the trim condition here, beta should be 0 and Cn naught also should be 0. Means it should start, if you take this, it should start from here like this. This is the Cn and this is the beta. It should start from here, not any other place. And this is the control. Cm delta E should be less than 0 and Cn delta R also should be less than 0. So the control power, this is called the control power for both the cases, longitudinal and the directional. The control power for the longitudinal case is Cm delta E, where delta E is elevator deflection. Here delta R is a rudder deflection. So the Cn delta R should be negative. So these are the comparison between the longitudinal and directional static stability. So why so many expression I may need to different this SM, ND, NM, etc. to understand rudder, to handle the adversia. So we have to understand that adversia, then asymmetric power, and then crosswind and spinning. Okay, so this is where the rudders are used. Okay, so this we have to understand that what is the adversia. So in this rudder control, few situations are there. First one is the adversia. If I want to roll positive right wing going down, if I want to roll like this, that right wing should go down, so right wing relative wind is more because it is going down like this. So here you have the relative wind is more. Okay, so here more induced lift is induced and also drag is also induced. Okay, so in this what will happen? If it is flying like this and you are rolling like this, here you have the more relative wind and this relative wind will generate the lift upward and also the drag. So drag also will be in the right wing will be more. So the right wing also go back. So it is flying like this and you are roll like this and also it will turn like this. Okay, also go back with nose going, yawing right. So adverse should be used to control adversia. Okay, so this is the adversia. So we have to use the rudder to control this adversia. Okay, so that is the, so it is, I think it is very much clear that what is the adversia. Again, I am just explaining. Your aircraft is flying like this. You have rolled the aircraft right down. Due to rolling the right down, relative wind of this right wing is more and hitting the downside, more lift will be generated. Due to this more lift, the more induced drag, the direction of the induced drag is in this direction, your aircraft nose will go right. Okay, so this is called the adversia, which you have not generated. It is generated by the rolling itself. So we have to make some arrangement in the rudder that whenever you are rolling the aircraft, your rudder should go left. If the rudder is going left, it will try to pull the nose left and aircraft will maintain the same direction. Now, what is the asymmetric yaw? Okay, so rudder should have more control power to handle. this situation, okay, so just you can see that asymmetric, yeah. So if your engine is failed or anything, suppose here you have the two engine and this one engine is failed. So aircraft will try to move in this, nose will go towards the right. So what you will do? You have to deflect this rudder towards this. Okay, so it will, this is called asymmetric lift. Okay, and it is can be used for the your crosswind rudder is very useful for the crosswind asymmetric yaw and the adverse yaw. That is why it is the primary use of the rudder to control this type of things. Here I am discussing about the rudder control. Here this you can see this is the aircraft. In this aircraft, these are the wings. Here we have fitted two propellers. One is T1, another is a T. The distance of this from here is A. Here is the vertical tail. Here is the rudder. From here, the distance of the center of gravity from here is LV. Okay. So we can see here that Ym, the moment generated by the failure of the T. So here you will get T1 into A. This is the moment generated by the engine. To counter this, we have to apply the rudder. Okay, so it is turning in this direction. We have to use the force so that it can go in this. So we have to deflect this thing in this direction. So this Ym rudder is equal to half rho v square SV Cn delta R into delta R. So by this, how much delta R is required? So this delta R is equal to Tm, this Y1 is equal to T1A. So here T1A half rho v square SV and Cn delta R. So in this way, we can find out how much delta R required. Okay, that is the, in this way you can calculate the your delta R requirement, means how much delta R is required. So I am here I am completing my this lecture, and I will be taking the next lecture very soon, and hope it will be very useful for you. And it is very important to understand that how much your delta R or how much rudder angle is required to control any emergencies, and how the directional static stability is achieved. Okay, so in this note, I am thanking you all. These are the references which I am referring the Nelson book. Also, I am referring the Professor Ghosh, A.K. Ghosh, IIT Kanpur, NPTEL lecture. And thank you very much for joining this class. Hope you will be observing my videos continuously. Okay, thank you very much.
Like, share and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for more updates.